Oh, shoot.
Perfect. Watch your profanity.
What's up, selectors? It is Select Screen here, back with another ranking for you. This time, shout out to my man RL. It is time to rank all of Phase 5 because we are now in Phase 6 with the release of Fantastic Four. So I'm super excited to go through that with you guys. I got my man RL over on our TikTok. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe at linktr.ee/select screen. And let's get it, man. We're going to have some fun tonight. It'll be a quick stream because Elmo 172331 is coming on in about 30 minutes. But make sure you get yourself a selected t-shirt. Go get one of those at linktr.ee/select screen. Pick up some of that merch. We got plenty of merch coming up for you. Those of you listening on the podcast, thank you for doing so and subscribing there as well. All right, let's jump into this thing, man. As usual, I'm ready. You're ready. Let's go. All right. It is time for Select Screen's Marvel Studios ranking. And we are going to do this a little bit on the fly, a little bit. I've got a creative way of doing this this time. And so we'll see how this all goes. Holy smokes. My lights are changing as we speak. I look like I am fire. Let's try that again. Yes, no, no. What about now? No, still on fire. So that's okay. We always have backups to the backups. Always have backups to the backups. Check this out. Ready? You guys ready for this? Before we get started. Just like that. There we go. And fixed. Those of you listening are like, what? What's going on? All right. So Select Screens Marvel Studios ranking. Shout out to RL, man, who's been waiting on this one.
What?
The dude has been like, bro, can we please talk about Marvel? We've been playing Metal Gear. We've been playing Madden. And look, there's a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of stuff going on. And so had to dedicate this one to my man RL, who is 100% approved, right? He's an approved selector, and you can be one too by subscribing. All right, enough of my pitching. Here we go. Check out the cool animations here. Look at this. Are you ready? I'm ready. Your boy been putting in work, man. Trying to make these streams amazing for you guys. All right, so where were we last time? All right, so this is our movie ranking. And I want to make sure that I say that very clearly. This is our movie ranking only, not including the Disney Plus stuff. Okay, so that will make a difference in how things go. We broke it up into kind of three phases, right? We've got the movie ranking. We also have the shows ranking because there were a lot of shows. And then eventually one of these days we'll do an overall ranking. But right now, let's get back to this movie ranking. I want to see the animation one more time. Ready? Look at this. Bam! That's so dope. All right. Woo! Woo! Our movie ranking, starting at the bottom from last time, was The Eternals at 11, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Black Widow, Thor, Love and Thunder, Ant-Man 3, The Marvels, Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I know that surprises a lot of people, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Spider-Man was defeated by Deadpool and Wolverine. So we've got more to add to this list. This will be a final ranking of Phase 5. And with our Phase 5, let's see. That is the show. So like we won't be talking about the shows like Echo or Ironheart in this section. Does that make sense? We will pop over to that section and jump into that in just a little bit. But we're going to start with shows. And I had a really cool list of what this all looks like. And you know what? It's really kind of hard to find a good layout of just Phase 5. All right, here we go. So, in addition to these, Okay, we've got Ant-Man in there, got the Marvels, all the way up to Deadpool and Wolverine. All right, so we need to add in Captain America, Brave New World, and really Thunderbolts. Those are going to be the two that, yeah, we have. So Phase 5 looked like this: Quantumania, the Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Captain America, Thunderbolts, and then of course we're kind of including Phase 4 in here too, because it was kind of a weird situation. So RL asks, which have you watched the most out of the top 4? Out of the top 4, I have by far watched Spider-Man No Way Home the most. By far. I've been meaning to watch Deadpool and Wolverine again. I have not watched it since I've seen it in theaters because it's just hard to watch. And what I mean by that is it's hard to watch with my kids around, right? And I'm watching Dexter. But nevertheless, it's hard to watch Deadpool when you've got kids. It's just, you just can't watch it, right? It's got to be at like 11 o'clock. That's the thing. But it's okay.
Tonight!
I may try and watch it. So RL is putting Thunderbolts at number 6. So let's start with Captain America. And the way that I like to do this, guys, is I like to, and I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the right camera. Okay. The way that I like to do this is I like to really ask myself, do I like this movie more than each movie? You know what I mean? And then that's where we can kind of find and place it. And again, this is my personal opinion. If you don't like it, unless you're RL, too bad, right? It's okay.
Nope.
So Captain America, let's see. Where do we start with Captain America? I guess we'll start at the very bottom of the list. Captain America, Brave New World. I was hyped for this. This was one of my most hyped movies for this phase. Is it better than Eternals? Absolutely is better than Eternals. Purely on the basis of it had a complete story. So I'm going with that. Is it better than Doctor Strange? Yes, it is better than Doctor Strange because they didn't needlessly kill off a bunch of characters. So I'm going with that. Is it better than Black Widow? Yes, it's a better espionage movie than Black Widow. Is it better than Thor Love and Thunder? I just enjoyed it more than Thor Love and Thunder. I think Love and Thunder didn't make sense for a lot of reasons. Better than Ant-Man 3? This is where it gets a little complicated because I still think even though Kang lost to Ant-Man, his portrayal of Kang as a villain, I think, was better than Hulk. Does that make sense? Better than Hulk, than Red Hulk. Now, was it a better movie? I'm gonna just park this over here because we're going to need the room, right? So we're gonna end up with over here. We're gonna end up with 12 and 13. Let's see if we can't just. Will it let me? 12. Oops. 12. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move Eternals down. Let's see if this works. Like this. Yeah, there we go. Doctor Strange is gonna move down. Like that. RL says Ant-Man actually had a villain. Exactly. Let's see. Can we get a 13 in there? Okay, cool. Black Widow, we said that, so let's drop that down. Thor, that's gonna come down. I'm actually doing this I'm actually kind of doing this wrong, guys. My bad. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, I won't keep the order right. So I may have to just do this the old school way. Let's do this. 12. Right, and 13. That's how we're going to do this. Cool? Yeah. Then the other side stays the same. Cool. All right, I'm figuring it out. So, RL says, so B-dub before Multiverse of Madness, what about the cameos it had? Black Widow? Before, no, for me. And the reason that I say that is the cameos weren't used well. I was more disgusted with what they did with Doctor Strange than I was Black Widow. Because at the end of Black Widow, and you'll see where I'm going with this in a second, Black Widow actually got a lot better. And you're going to see... Rock with me on this. All right. So again, we're moving Eternals. I still think Eternals is quite possibly the worst movie Marvel's ever made. I think again, what they did with those cameos, what they did to Professor Xavier, and I love Sam Raimi. I really do. I like his movies, but boy, that was rough. I'm going to make an amendment here, though, at 8 and 9. I'm going to move Thor down to 11. I may not stay there. And I like what RL's saying here. I just didn't like how Black Widow was so indestructible she was in the film. But I see why. Yes, and it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary, and that's why it was so low. So I'm looking at Black Widow, Captain America, Ant-Man in here somewhere. Sorry, in here somewhere. For Captain America. And the reason being is RL brought up a good point. There is no villain, right? I mean, it was another one of those. I was really excited because the Incredible Hulk movie, I really liked, and I don't like the Incredible Hulk. I did not like the Incredible Hulk for a long time, or just as a character. And that movie made me like him. And the promise of the leader, my son's like, hater. The promise of the leader was very interesting to me. You know, I really liked Betty. I really liked that movie a lot. And Captain America did not deliver on that. But I like Sam. So I'm going to put it here for now. Cap, Brave New World, all right? And I'm going to show you why this moved up. Now, we've got this 10 slot. We've still got to move. We've got to move some down. Now, rock with me on this. Here's why Black Widow got better. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. I got to move this down. Got to move them all down. Because Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was a very, very good movie. And I think before I get there, let me go back to Cap one more time. Captain America Brand New World. That's what I called it. Brand New World. Sorry. Captain America is not called Brand New World. It's not called Brand New World at all. Brave New World. Okay, that's it. Captain America, Brave New World. Captain America, Brave New World. Again, I like everything they did with Sam. I started to like the outfit change. I liked what they did with the Wakandan stuff. I like that Bucky had some kind of role in there, but the villain fell flat. The CGI in some places fell flat, but it had some pretty good action in it as well. So I'm happy with it around that 9 area. It's in the top 10. Let's see. My man Len said, today was so fun. I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Hey, same here, bro. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. They should have brought in a new director for Bale. Ooh. For Christian Bale. Yeah, you know, Taika Waititi was the problem there. Taika Waititi. That is his name. My wife is making fun of Taika Waititi's name. It's not a funny name. That is very rude. Oh my gosh. But he was wrong. He was wrong. And I felt that way with the other Thor as well. I just didn't like funny Thor at all. They give us like 1 minute to transition. I'm literally running to my yeah, it's quick, bro. It's super quick. Now I know you guys are a lot of people are upset about this. How can you say that the Marvels is better than Captain America and Black Widow? The Marvels as a movie was not 100% the best, right? The villain was really bad. Is the villain in Ant-Man better than the Marvels? Yes. But the reason that the Marvels gets this 7th slot above these other movies is the Marvels has the funniest scene in Marvel history. That scene with the cats, I could watch over and over and over again. That is so funny to me. I know people don't like the movie. And then we got Beast at the end, right? So we had a post-credit scene, and let me say that the post-credit scenes in this phase are horrendous. This is one of the post-credit scenes that actually makes sense, right? It actually led to something. So I'm definitely gonna put the Marvels there. Now this is where it gets tough, you guys. That's just so Cap. The fighting styles. Yeah, absolutely. This is where it gets tough. This top 5. Does Thunderbolts crack the top 5? This is going to be tough, guys. Because I like these top 5 movies for different reasons. Wakanda Forever, although I still feel like they should have recast T'Challa, the emotional, they handled it respectfully. That's what I like about Wakanda Forever. I really like Namor. I think he was fantastic and will do great later on. Goodness, put him in a Fantastic Four movie. That's going to be cool, right? Post-credit scene, hopefully we'll have, and that's what all 5 of these have in common. The post-credit scenes have something to do with something. So can we say that Thunderbolts does that? We can. And that's why Thunderbolts is going to be in here somewhere. The question is, where? So it is Thunderbolts better than Wakanda Forever? Believe it or not, I'm going to say yes. And the reason being for that is that the post-credit scene, again, leading us directly into something we think, right, with the Fantastic Four. And Thunderbolts, again, was super funny. It had some good plot twists. Again, I'm going to put Guardians 3 in that same bundle. Both of those movies have things in common, right? They both are gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching kind of movies. I mean, this was a perfect ending. This was a perfect ending with Guardians of the Galaxy. Have I gone back and watched it again? No. Why? Because I kind of, as well as these things like made me feel something, it's something I don't want to feel consistently. You know what I mean? It's a perfect ending, but I don't want to go back and watch that movie again simply because of the nature of the story, right? They did it so well that I don't want to be sad. Does that make sense? Now, Shang-Chi. Is Thunderbolts better than Shang-Chi? The reason I have Shang-Chi so high is I have been asking for action in a movie. Give me these Marvel movies with some action. And Shang-Chi delivered that with a decent story. Post-credit scene that we're hopefully is going to like pay off. But it still makes sense. I don't know if the story, though, even though I've watched it multiple times, I don't know if the story is better than Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts had a very good twist. A very good twist. Let's see, my man Landon said, but I kind of miss school because during the summer it's low-key very lonely. Yeah, man, when you're all by yourself, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. It's good to be back around everybody, right? I feel you on that. RL says they could have taken out Wong doing karaoke. Yeah. But I mean, Wong should have been the new Stan Lee. Wong should have just been in all of these phases, right? He's the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, why is he not in everything? Now the big question. Is Thunderbolts better than Spider-Man No Way Home? Both of them were funny in their own ways. Both of them had kind of some twists. And my comments are blowing up. No, never. Yeah, I like middle school because we didn't always have to be in the line of it. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to put Thunderbolts here. Thunderbolts was funny, had a great post-credit scene. I don't think it's funnier than Deadpool and Wolverine. And I don't think the twist of them being called New Avengers AVENGR. There we go. New Avengers. I don't think those things outdid when Tobey Maguire stepped out of that portal in No Way Home. With a Z. I'm with it. I'm with it. Avengers with a Z. I don't think they outdid that moment. I think No Way Home was better. Yeah. It had that I mean, even the Andrew Garfield moment, those moments were so significant, right? When we talk about Marvel movies, we're going to talk about the first Iron Man movie. We're going to talk about the MCU. We're going to talk about the Iron Man movies. We're going to talk about Winter Soldier / Civil War. Because I feel like that's really just one movie. All the villains No Way Home had. We're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, probably 1, 2, and 3, right? But we're going to talk about the moment where we all felt like, man, it would be awesome to see all these Spider-Men together. And we got it. The hype around it was crazy. The only thing more hype on the internet right now is this.
Lizard.
That's the only thing that's more hype. And I would say the top two, Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home, did something that Marvel has not done recently. And that is exceed the hype, right? No Way Home had an impossible task and it did it, right? Endgame had that same thing as well. Deadpool and Wolverine, I mean, we were all hyped. As soon as Ryan Reynolds said Hugh Jackman was in the movie, we were like, this movie's got to be dope. Lizard. It had to be amazing. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to stick those. I think I'm good with this list. RL says, no, it's not one film, man. Come on, those are two different films. They are two different films. But I mean, as far as storytelling, they easily could have called that. So they could have called that, Civil War 1 and 2, right? Part 1 and Part 2. They could have connected those films even more. Mariah's Move says Lizard. I'm good with that. I think we are going to officially change this guy here to phase 4 and 5. No Way Home's your favorite one. Yeah, I'm good with that. And really, I feel like any of those top 5, Deadpool and Wolverine, Spider-Man, Thunderbolts, Shang-Chi, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you could talk me into those all being number 1, right? At any given moment. I think I'm settling on these because Deadpool and Wolverine had a little more action than I wanted. Although Spider-Man No Way Home had all them villains that I loved, man. Good movies. Who had the best villain? To be honest with you, the best villain was actually Shang-Chi. I think the Mandarin was amazing. He had depth to him. They fixed an issue with the Mandarin in the other Iron Man movies. The Mandarin was amazing. And then visually, it's really cool how he used the 10 rings. I think the best villain was in Shang-Chi. Although, again, Wakanda Forever with Namor, but again, is he a bad guy? I don't know. He's an anti-hero, right? So I'm gonna go with Shang-Chi had the best villain, the best sidekick. 100% is Thunderbolts. Going to the Red Guardian. The Red Guardian. Come on, man. When he's driving up, yelling for her, like, don't go in there. They're gonna burn you alive. Like, bro, that scene is stupid funny, man. I mean, it's probably number 2. It's number 2. Or Call Truth. Yeah. Even when he's sitting in the car with Bucky, you know what I mean? So let's give out, I like that. Let's give out some awards. How about that? We could add that in here. I'm good with that. This will be something a little bit different. Funniest scene. Definitely goes to Marvel's. Best action. Award goes to Shang-Chi. Also villain, Shang-Chi. I like this. Dude from Guardian of the Galaxy was up there. He was up there. He was right there. I think the only reason that I would give it to Shang-Chi over him and give it to the Mandarin is they did what Sony is always trying to do. They always try to make us sympathetic to the villain and then make him a villain, right? That's what they did with the Lizard. That's what they did with Electro. Shang-Chi did it well, where I really cared about the Mandarin. I was like, this is a good dude. He's like, his motivations is he just loves his wife, right? Whereas the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, that dude is just evil. Like, evil.
Perfect.
So, honorable mention, I'm with you on that. What was the other one we were saying? Green Goblin's number 2 villain. And see, that's my thing. I'm saving William Dafoe if we ever get down to this other list, because his character work. Did we do that already? Did we do the Spider-Man one? No. Yeah, we did. We need to go back and do this Spider-Man universe ranking. And we will. But we need to do some awards here. And that's where William Dafoe's going to get that best villain. He's definitely going to get that best villain there. What else are we forgetting? Shang-Chi is definitely in my top 3 because I got to support my people. My guy landed. Who had the worst death? Oh, by far the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy. By far. That was gruesome. Best drama. I like that one. Best drama. That goes to Guardians of the Galaxy. Does it? Yeah, it does. I'm going to say that edges out Wakanda Forever. Yeah. And the reason that I say Guardians of the Galaxy is, I mean, sitting there with my wife, we saw that in Las Vegas. We were having a good time in Las Vegas, and we watched that movie and we came out of it like crap. We'll end it with those two. I like it. Rookie of the Year. Rookie and the MVP. Okay. Rookie of the Year. So they had to debut in. Oh, that's wonderful, honey. They had to debut in Phase 5. So when we look at debuts of Phase 5, that takes out the Thunderbolts, that takes out Spider-Man, that takes out Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. Man, I'm gonna go with oh gosh, what is her name? Hang on. Let me make sure I say here. Yeah, make sure I get it right. Hang on. Okay, I got you. This is gonna surprise you on this one. This one is going to shock you. Get your clip button ready. Rookie of Phase 5 is going to Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. She debuted in Black Widow, and literally her part in Black Widow literally made Thunderbolts amazing. Valentina is very, very cool. And I would have put, it was between her and Homeboy that she helped create, but I'm gonna go with Valentina Val over everybody else. You're gonna go Namor for Rookie of the Year / Shang-Chi. I will put Shang-Chi there. He was in there. You could talk me into Namor. I just don't think he, as awesome as he was, and I feel like that his world is awesome, she did more. You feel me? She did more with that little Black Widow cameo to make Thunderbolts. You wouldn't have Thunderbolts without that scene in Black Widow. MVP. Again, this is hard for me because no one went through the whole thing. The MVP should have had the most impact on the phase, and I think that's yet to be seen, which is the problem with the phase, right? That's the problem with this phase. But I gotta go the most valuable player. Who was the most valuable? Gosh. Who had the most impact on the universe as a whole? Maybe that's probably the best way to look at that. Deadpool and Wolverine? No, they didn't. They didn't do anything for the because this is all about the multiverse, right? So what did they do for the multiverse? Right? And so the Eternals did zero. Doctor Strange tore a hole in the multiverse. He didn't do anything with it. Thor could have. He could be the MVP. He could be a candidate because now he has eternity with him, right? Black Widow, again, Val, but I'm going to give Val Rookie. Captain America didn't do anything to move the overall narrative there. Ant-Man, I mean, I would have gave it to Kang. I would have gave it to Kang from Ant-Man. Wakanda Forever didn't move any of the narrative. Guardians of the Galaxy ended everything. Shang-Chi was kind of its own thing. Thunderbolts. Spider-Man No Way Home set up some good stuff. That I could say Spider-Man was the MVP, obviously biasly. But then Morbius came and undid all that, right? Even though we're not counting Morbius in Marvel Studios, it undid it, right? So, another shocker. This is, you guys are going to be mad at me when I tell you who I got for the MVP. Oh gosh. How do I want to make sure I spell it correctly. Hang on. The person who moved Phase 5 the most, 100%, without a doubt, is Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau literally brought us Beast and the X-Men into the phase. It's got to be Monica Rambeau. That story, her cutting through one universe to another, I think will have the biggest impact out of this phase. And I know that's surprising. I know a lot of people didn't like her. I think she's my backup girlfriend, but
Lizard.
my wife's like, what? It's got to be Monica. Everybody in the comments. Yeah, it's got to be Monica though. When you think about what Monica did in, because this whole phase was supposed to be about the multiverse. Nobody else did anything. Doctor Strange should have been, but that's it. Fantastic edits. DM for request. Thank you. How dare you? Who had the best suit? That's where Shang-Chi was bad. Costume design was not great. Best costume design and best suit is 100% Wakanda Forever. Shuri's suit was fire, bro. That suit for her, and they adapted that suit from the comics so well. They didn't give her the fur collar, but that suit was dope. Thor would have been there. I would have gave that one to Thor when Thor had the helmet on, but it looked so bad CG wise that we'll put best dressed. We gotta put that up here. That should have went to Thor, because the way it looked, this is gonna sound weird, but the way it looked was dope, but the CG was bad on it. So I'm going Shuri. Going with Shuri on that one. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Best. Why don't we end it with best actress, and then we'll go to the shows. Sound good? I'm gonna put this. Fantastic. How we doing? Hope you had a good day. Best actress. This one's easy too for me. Let me make sure that, again, I'm putting in. I want to make sure I'm spelling these correctly for you guys. Where is it? That looks like the other one. Hang on just a second. Hold, please. Thoughts on Karate Kid? I really liked Karate Kid. Karate Kid it again had an impossible task, right? You got to make the old heads like it, while you got to have people who are new like it. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Come on now. Give me what I'm looking for here. The villain from Deadpool and Wolverine deserves flowers too. My problem with her is that there was the way they handled her, the way they beat her. I didn't like that. And not that it was bad, but it was just kind of like, okay, we kind of had the kill switch, if you will. There we go. All right, last one for the movies before we go over to the shows here. I think this is going to be another surprise pick for you guys. Best actor and actress is going to Lila and Rocket. Let's do Rocket and Lila, so we don't get it confused. Rocket and Lila. Rocket, I don't know how you can have two animated characters that pulled off so much emotion. I mean, it was crazy. Crazy, right? So, was the Deadpool and Wolverine villain, I can't think of her name. She was good though. Harley K says Rocket Lila was heartbreaking. Exactly. The performances there, I mean, wow, right? Wow. It was just heartbreaking, 100%. So our awards look like this. Funniest scene, definitely the Marvels. We'll put Marvels, Cats. Best action definitely goes to Shang-Chi. Not even close. The best villain, definitely Shang-Chi. Best drama, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Best dressed, 100% Shuri. Best actor. Okay, yeah. Rocket and Lila. Rookie of the year is Val. And then the MVP, person who moved the MCU forward, literally, was 100% Monica Rambeau. And I don't think she's going to get her flowers at all either. But hey, she brought in the X-Men literally by herself. I'm good with that one. Let's go down to our shows ranking. I think this was all of the shows. So we've got quite a bit of shows to add in here. And I'm going to try and move quickly to not waste too much of your time here. Let me pop back to... All right. So some shows that we may need to add in here. Loki. We got Loki season 2 in here. Yeah, we do. Loki season 2. How about Echo? Did we get to our Echo? Yeah, Echo made that list. Okay, so Agatha and Daredevil. Agatha and Daredevil are where we're at. Iron Fist was our worst. Let's run through the list real quick. X-Men 97, WandaVision, WWBK. Why am I forgetting what that is? Oh, Werewolf. Right? Daredevil 1, 2, and 3. Loki season 1. Jessica Jones season 1. Luke Cage 1 and 2. Loki season 2. Punisher 1 and 2. Hawkeye, Echo. Moon Knight, What If season 1. Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. The Defenders. Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, She-Hulk, What If Season 2, and Iron Fist. So, I'm going to tell you right now. People are not going to like this. I know a lot of people think Agatha All Along is a great show. I didn't even watch it. And by not watching it, I watched the summaries of it. I think the premise of why Marvel is not where they're supposed to be. Oh, and let me move this over for you guys. Sorry, I got to change it on this side. Agatha is exactly what was wrong. Another reason why this phase failed. The more we go into this magic realm and all of that stuff, the further we get away from just give me superheroes, the more and more of these shows and TV and movies, they just don't work. If you look at Agatha, you look at Doctor Strange, those are some of the lowest. Well, now Agatha Agatha performed well. But for me, again, moving the story along and stuff like that, Agatha's at the bottom. How is Secret Invasion not last? Secret Invasion had one Nick Fury in it, and that saved it. Secret Invasion is pretty bad. But nothing on, well, let's see. Nothing from 17 down is good. Okay? Nothing from 17 down is good. But Secret Invasion, Nick Fury, we learned some things about Nick Fury. I'm going to give it that. Is Nick Fury better than Agatha? Yes, because I called it Nick Fury. At least it had the twist with War Machine. Is it better than Iron Fist? Iron Fist is quite possibly one of the worst movies and worst TV shows I've ever seen. Iron Fist, instead of being a Kung Fu Shang-Chi-like show, right? The dude's name is Iron Fist. It's primarily like a courtroom drama, except it's in boardrooms. 90% of the show is like in an office. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. What if season 2 was so annoying? She-Hulk would have been okay if the CGI was better, especially on Hulk's son. That was bad. But the big thing was She-Hulk just 180'd at the end. It was like all of this stuff that you're looking forward to, all of the story, and they just threw it all out. It was like, why did I watch this? Miss Marvel was a slog to get through for me. The Defenders, again, the buildup was so high, bringing all these characters together, and it just didn't come through. I saw Eternals was 13. Why? Let me go back to that. For me, Eternals was the first movie that did not hit at all for me. And apparently it didn't for Marvel because none of it mattered. We had for the longest time, and that's why I might even put Cap, now that you bring that up, Brave New World up one, because Cap fixed something out of Eternals. There was a giant Eternal in the ocean, and it was so bad that other shows and movies were like, yo, we're not even going to acknowledge that. So Marvel itself already signaled to us like Eternals is bad. Blade, you have a Eternals started off the whole post-credit scenes do not matter, and that sucks. We had Blade in the post-credit scene of the Eternals, and we never saw him. We had Black Knight, who quite possibly will never be seen again. It was sad. And didn't that have what's his name? From One Direction? Wasn't he in there too? So it had 2 bad post-credit scenes? Yeah. Okay, let's pop back to TV. Let's see. Elmo says on YouTube, where would you put Ironheart? I was happy watching episodes 1 through 3, then it fell off too. That is going to be very interesting. Harry Styles. Harry Styles was in that movie. And he's Thanos' brother. Bartholomew, what's up? Hope to see you tomorrow. Where would I put Ironheart? Guys, I might have to manually do this. I'm going to put Ironheart here. Yeah. Temporarily, at least. All right. I'm gonna put Ironheart here. The first 3 episodes, I agree with you, Elmo, were pretty great. And then again, it went into that dark, I can't watch this with my kids. Like, it just, that's not what I wanted out of that show at all. Is it better than Defenders? Yes, I would say it's better than Defenders because, gosh, the people have been really waiting for the devil character, I guess. But more than that, I felt like the acting in Ironheart was pretty good. The Defenders had really bad acting from really great actors. Miss Marvel's acting, that was rough. Secret Invasion's acting was pretty rough. She-Hulk, again, I've already went through those. And then, as RL said, yeah, What If could have been higher here, but season 2 just drug What If as a whole down. The process of What If. What about Eyes of Wakanda? Eyes of Wakanda is going to be in phase 6 because with Fantastic Four, that started phase 6. So this is, and I'm going to change this here. This is our phase 4 and 5. And the reason I'm lumping 4 and 5 together is it was the start of a new story. I'm labeling phase 6 as we go into this Doom era, something different, because that's kind of what Marvel did. They pivoted, and that's kind of where they're at. But right now, I'm liking Eyes of Wakanda a lot, to be honest with you. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm liking it. I'm liking what they're doing with it. It's got some impact, and I really like the art style a lot. Are we missing anything else from this phase for TV shows? Oh, we are missing one more. So I'm going to tell you right now. It's Daredevil. Daredevil Born Again. Okay. Better than Agatha, Iron Man, What If, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel, Defenders, Ironheart, Guardians of the Galaxy, Falcon. Yes. All of those. What If, Moon Knight. Oh, I'm going to amend this. I liked Moon Knight. Well, I liked Echo. The problem with Moon Knight for me, my problem with Moon Knight is there wasn't enough Moon Knight. I liked that show a lot. Echo, I liked, and I thought it was respectful. What's number 3? 3 is Werewolf by Night. Yeah, I had to think about that too. Werewolf by Night. So that's the special presentation we're lumping it in with the shows. Okay. Hawkeye. Definitely enjoyed Hawkeye. Punisher season 1 and 2. I mean, those are, for me, those were nearly perfect. Loki season 2 was pretty great. Luke Cage 1 and 2 I really loved. I mean, everything pretty much on this side of the list I enjoyed. But Daredevil, here's the big question. Is Daredevil Born Again better than seasons 1, 2, and 3? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say yes. I really liked every episode of Daredevil. I was like, what's going to happen next? Could not wait until the next episode. Is it better than Werewolf by Night? I'm going to watch Werewolf by Night every Halloween. This is tough. When I get into this top 3, I just don't know if I don't know. Really, the top 5. It's very, very hard. Clue's going with yes. It is better than Werewolf by Night. I'm going to agree. Werewolf by Night, yes. I'm going to say Daredevil was better than that. The scene where Foggy got shot was like, what? The scene where Daredevil or where Punisher, it looked like Punisher had shot White Tiger. That was some stuff, man. That was some stuff. I was going through things at that point. So I'm looking at 3. Is it better than WandaVision? Now, I just said, Logan's kids, what's up? That I didn't like all of the witchcraft and stuff. And what is WandaVision, right? But WandaVision did, again, similar to Daredevil, it kept you on your seat. You were going, what is going on in this show? Right? It was so good. But I gotta say, the one thing WandaVision didn't have, even though it's not supposed to be, I gotta say it didn't have the same action. That last scene where White Vision was fighting Vision, it was more of a thinking game and all of that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Clue said the only way to top that is if they followed it up was by building Midnight Sun outside of Strange in Werewolf by Night. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that for sure. I'm going to say, guys, Daredevil was better than WandaVision. I really, the action scenes, even though the CG, I get it, again, he's jumping around, but they took it to another level. The scene where Kingpin literally crushes a man's head with his bare hands, that scene alone was like, oh crap, you know? So definitely Daredevil better than WandaVision. But the main question, is it better than X-Men 97? This is like comparing apples and bananas. You got nostalgia in X-Men 97. You've got modern day in Daredevil. Right? Even She-Hulk couldn't ruin Daredevil. I can't do it. I'm going to put Daredevil there. Why? Daredevil, we'll call it Daredevil BG. X-Men 97, again, had an impossible task. How do you take a beloved franchise, bring it into the present, make it look better, and then get more emotion? Spoilers if you have not seen it, but when Gambit dies, I cried. X-Men 97 is by far the best show that Marvel has ever put out. And if the next season is not better than 97, I am going to be so mad. Clue says no, if Disney decided to do Spider-Man 94, they would say it's better than 97. Now, if they did Spider-Man 94, I could argue needs another season more than X-Men did, because it left us on a cliffhanger. Spider-Man needs it. And you know what we didn't put in here? Did we put that other Spider-Man show in there? We didn't. What was that show? See, what is it called? Spider-Man. but I'm not really Spider-Man. That's how much I thought of that show. I mean, it's fine, but it's just fine. Spider-Man, new cartoon. What was that called? Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I mean, the twist was pretty predictable. It was fine. It was just fine. I would put it after What If, season 1. So we'll put it here. I gotta reorder these or renumber them. Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood, Spider-Man. Cool. Let's renumber 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is that right? 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So over here. And I still feel like everything Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special was not bad. It was just fine. So I think everything 1 through 18 is like watchable. Does that make sense? Everything else is like, just get the YouTube clips. Like, get the fun. Like, there's a scene of someone flipping. Let me say something good about all of these. All right, not just an episode, but series. Don't forget, Select X-Men 97 was technically left as an incomplete episode if you watched the last episode of Charles Xavier leaving Earth. Not just an episode, but series. Yes, but didn't they had already renewed for season 2, right? I thought they had already announced season 2 was, so it was kind of like, it's okay to leave it on a cliffhanger because we're getting more. I think that was a smart decision. Let me say one good thing about all of this. Every single one of these. Then we'll do some awards. We'll do some awards real quick, and then I will get out of your hair, I promise. My wife is cooking something that smells amazing. Ooh-wee. Can I get a ooh-wee? Do we still have a ooh-wee? We used to have ooh-wee.
Bruh.
Bruh work. I'll live with the bruh. If you're enjoying the stream, though, put lizard in the chat.
Lizard.
All right. Lizard. Let me say one good thing about all of these things, because that's the way I try to be positive. Every Fox Marvel cartoon was left incomplete. 100%. Oh, you're talking about the original X-Men. Yes. Yes, it was. But it felt okay. Like, he left Earth and we were like, okay, you know what?
Lizard.
It's okay. Logan's Kids and Elmo said, Lizard. Enjoying the stream. I appreciate it. Okay. Here we go. One nice thing. X-Men 97. I can feel you. How did she say it? How did Rogue say it? I can't feel you. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Right? Daredevil, Born Again. I mean, Punisher was off the chain. Daredevil was dope. But my man, Kingpin, they did it again with him. WandaVision, the theme songs. All of the theme songs. Every episode had a banger. Right? Werewolf by Night. I mean, that's my go-to Halloween. That watching it in color is cool, but man, if you watch that thing in black and white, it's cool. What about Logan's Kid said, what about the new Black Panther show out now? That'll be in phase 6. Yep, we'll put that in phase 6. because Fantastic Four kicked off Phase 6 technically. Let's see, Daredevil 1, 2, and 3. I mean, what can I say? Literally made me subscribe to Netflix and stay with Netflix. Loki season 1 was fire, proved that Marvel could do TV shows. Jessica Jones season 1, we're gonna get to that, but probably the scariest villain in Marvel history. Luke Cage 1 and 2, the music, and if they wouldn't have killed off their villains in season 1, they're in the running for Cottonmouth. Was crazy in that season 1. Loki season 2, the spaghettification effects in Loki season 2 for a TV show were pretty cool. Punisher 1 and 2, it was the Punisher, dude. Punisher was dope. Hawkeye was so comic book accurate. If you guys go back and read that book, I highly recommend it. That was really, really cool. Echo, I thought Echo was very respectful of the source material. While it wasn't super comic accurate, they were very respectful to the Native American people. I really liked that. Moon Knight was great. I liked everything they did in it. I just wanted more Moon Knight. Season 1 of What If was very intriguing. I thought we were going somewhere really cool. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I like what they did with Tombstone there. That was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I bet you we won't see too much of Tombstone in anything else, though. Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. It's more Jessica Jones, which was cool. It just fell off. Falcon and Winter Soldier, his suit at the end of that show was dope. Clue says in Spider-Man 94, MJ was trapped somewhere in the Spider-Verse, but was found in X-Men 97. Wait, they found MJ? Disney had her and Peter. Oh, that's right. That's right. They were together. There's a comic called Spider-Man 94 that explains how Peter found MJ. I see. That's what the season needs to be about. That's right. There is a shot of them together. X-Men 97, bro. I might go back and watch that again. Ooh, I'm hyped. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. That song is a classic, and you know what song I'm talking about. Ironheart had some dope suits in it. I wish it would have finished better. Defenders, it was cool to see all the Defenders together. Miss Marvel was the first introduction of a mutant, right? We got the X-Men theme. Secret Invasion. I really liked what Nick Fury was doing there as far as like him and his wife. And I like the twist that his wife was a Skrull. That was cool. She-Hulk, I know you guys hate her twerking, but I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And I liked when she jumped through things because that's who she is. I just didn't like how they were like, all right, forget what we just did for the whole season. Iron Fist. I didn't do this, but Iron Fist actually got a second season. But I'm still going to put 1 and 2. Season 2 was better, but that's like saying that like a smaller dog turd is easier to pick up than a big one. Armor Wars needs to be last. Armor Wars is never going to happen. And then Agatha, just, dude, the possession stuff is just, it's too much. Like, what are we showing kids, man? It's too much. All right, very quickly, some awards here. All right, we're going to just copy them from here. If that's cool with you guys, we'll just duplicate this. And bring this sucker down like so. And we may have to do some resizing of text, but we'll make it happen. Then I'm going to get out your way. Funniest scene. Funniest scene. Oh, I can't believe we're starting this like this, but funniest scene is Iron Fist. In Iron Fist season 1, now, rude gesture, but there is a scene where one of the villains in the show is just sitting behind a desk, flipping the bird, just randomly. And it's so off-brand of the show. Like, I don't know why they left that in, but it was hilarious. Only reason to see that episode. Don't watch any more of Iron Fist. Just watch that scene. Funny. Best action. Yikes. RL, I need you on this one. Best action. If anyone puts Secret Invasion in here, I will throw up. Gosh, when she was using everyone's powers, that was so terrible. Moon Knight had some really dope stuff. Really dope stuff. Daredevil? Which one? Because again, I'm wanting to go X-Men 97 here. When they fought the Sentinels and lost, that scene was heavy, bro. Also, Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night is kind of like one big action scene. Boy, this is tough. X-Men 97, Daredevil. I'm going to go. You know what? This is tough. Best action, Luke Cage plus Iron Fist doing fusion combo in Marvel Ultimate Alliance or Nightcrawler's 3 Swords in X-Men 97. They did do that. Boy, when Nightcrawler, Butterfrost Biscuit says X-Men is peak, I'm telling you that was Luke Cage and Iron Fist doing the fusion combo, and that was in the Marvel or the Defenders. That was pretty dope. But as a scene, I got to go with the hallway scenes. In Daredevil. Those scenes were, man, when he's about to pass out. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for gamers, man, Marvel, that game is still one of the best. That third one they did on Switch was trash, bro. Best villain. Whew. Unfortunately, I can't give that one to X-Men 97. I didn't like that villain. I mean, he was good for what he was supposed to do, but this one's interesting. Purple Man or Kingpin? That's where I was going. I want to say it's Kingpin. And my thought was, which Kingpin, right? Kingpin and Echo, Kingpin and Hawkeye, Kingpin and Daredevil. For the sake of it, though, I think the scariest villain in Marvel history was Purple Man. The way he could control people was amazing acting from everybody. I'm going with Purple Man too. Yeah, Purple Man, and I'm just gonna put Jessica Jones for future reference. Best drama. best drama, that's where I'm going Luke Cage. Loki's there, right? Echo had some good drama in it, but Luke Cage subtly dealt with some of the concerns of the time. The acting was so good. So good. Best pirate football team, Elmo says. Buccaneers. Black Mariah. Da. And when they called her Black Mariah, the way she acted, I mean, Cottonmouth, that the drama in that first, especially season 1. Season 2 was good too, as far as drama, but Luke Cage season 1 and the way, I mean, to this day, I still find myself saying, you know, forward always, like that. It's just always forward. Like, come on, man. Luke Cage, bring Luke Cage back. Best dressed, definitely not giving that one to Luke Cage. That man went through shirts every day. Iron Man or Iron Heart. Believe it or not, I'm going with ooh. This to me is either going Hawkeye. Hawkeye's finally got his suit in the Hawkeye series, or I want to go WandaVision because they were changing time periods, and that stuff was crazy. I'm gonna go WandaVision on that one. Yeah. Best actor, actress. Then again, Sam Wilson, Ironheart with the Wakanda tech, and they were dope, right? Ironheart's suits were really cool. I really like Sam's suit. Yeah. But WandaVision just, it took us into all those eras. And I don't think we get Fantastic Four's aesthetic and the feel of Fantastic Four without WandaVision. I believe it was the same director. Yeah, so I'm definitely messing with WandaVision on that one. But I again, I can see your point on that for sure. Movie's over a bit. Best actor and actress. I mean, Luke Cage is in there. Werewolf by Night's in there. Best suit goes to Punisher, War Machine armor from Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's what RL was gonna say. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty dope. I'm excited for that. Best actor, actress. I mean, it can't be anybody on this side of the list. So I'm thinking Moon Knight. Moon Knight, and then Black Mariah from Luke Cage. Anybody got objections to that? Loki, Lady Loki, Yeah, I'm really underestimating. I'm really underestimating Loki here. You're not wrong, because especially again, we don't get Kang without season 1. I might put the full cast of Loki for actor and actresses. because everybody in that show was pretty great. Lady Loki was fantastic. I'm good with that. I'm good with that clue. Kang, I think the best Kang was on Loki season 1. I think the cast of Loki. I'm going with that. Everybody on that show was great, down to the alligator, who is a
lizard.
Which Reed Richards killed Nathaniel Richards? Well, we know it wasn't Jim from The Office, Mr. Spaghetti. Rookie of the year. Rookie of the phase. I think we can all agree. When it comes to television, it was Jonathan Majors. Or, well, we've been putting, it was Kang. When Kang showed up in season 1 of Loki, it was like, holy crap, we're getting Kang. Yeah, that was a very, very good debut. I would say Werewolf by Night was right there as well. But Kang was dope. He was really, really great there. Who else was entered? Again, Moon Knight. So, who helped move the phase? That's what the MVP is. Moved the phase the most. Right? X-Men 97 didn't. Right? It didn't move the phase. Daredevil didn't, because Thunderbolts ignored that, Kingpin is running New York. Werewolf by Night, no. WandaVision spawned Agatha in a way. Okay. Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil was so good, it saved all the rest of these shows. So that's where I'm leaning. Right? Without Daredevil doing well, we don't get Punisher spinoffs, but we also don't get Daredevil. We don't get the other shows back. Kang, you're right. He moved it for me on Ant-Man when he said, "You're an Avenger. I thought I killed you." Yeah, that was, and the way he delivered that line was crazy. That's what's so sad about Ant-Man is all they had to do was change the ending of that movie. If he killed Ant-Man at the end of that movie is top 3. And we're having a completely different conversation. And what have they done with Paul Rudd since? 0. That's what sucks. MVP, boy, this is tough. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I'm trying to look at that. That did lead into Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And made sure that we knew that Mantis and Star-Lord were brother and sister. Moon Knight we've never seen again. Echo seems like she's done. Hawkeye. Man. Okay, so I was leaning Daredevil. But hear me out. I think it's the Hawkeye show. Because Hawkeye Ugh. It's tough. It's tough. Pay that man, Kevin. It's tough because we had already established that Daredevil was in No Way Home, but we didn't know that Kingpin was coming back until Hawkeye, right? Which ended up spawning our number 2 show. So I'm inclined to say Hawkeye is probably the most important as far as the phase goes. Any objections to that one? I think Hawkeye, we don't get, if that doesn't happen, it's going to be awkward to bring back Kingpin. Oh, that's pretty tough.
Approved.
Landon's back. Pay that man, Kevin. I'm not opposed to that either. Pay that man. Because Hawkeye was good. Hawkeye was a really good show. And again, if you go back and you read the Hawkeye book, some of that stuff is like page to page, like page to screen. Like, it's like when he gets in that car, like all of that stuff is right out of the book. I'm going Hawkeye. Because it gave us Daredevil, and Daredevil was dope. Would you say that No Way Home and Hawkeye is the spawn on making the Defenders? Yes. Yeah, I would. They're really the gateways to that. You've got to have those two. I would tell people, like, so if I was telling someone like what shows, like these are in order of what's like, what did I enjoy the best? But if I had to say like, what are the shows you have to watch for Marvel? That's a whole nother list. But like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I feel like you've got to watch that in order to watch brand new, keep saying brand new world, the new Captain America, right? So you got to see that. You've got to see Hawkeye to understand anything in Daredevil. You got to see Daredevil 1, 2, 3 to understand Daredevil. You know, not necessarily the Punisher. You know, those are all crucial. You know, WandaVision is not as important anymore, you know? So that's my list, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. Shout out to RL. That's my guy. Shout out to Clue. Shout out to Elmo 172331. My man Landon. Christy was in here. Wonder Man's coming. Wonder Man's coming. Let's see. Who else am I forgetting in the chat? Elmo. My wife for cooking whatever she is cooking. Shout out to Harley K. And I believe that is it for our
Approved
selectors for today. Like, share, and subscribe, guys, to the channel for much, much more. We got Metal Gear. We've got, oh gosh, Elmo was supposed to be streaming an hour ago. My bad, Elmo. I'm gonna get off right now. Stay tuned because Elmo's going live next, and I'm gonna get out the way. Okay, guys, do 2 things for me: be kind to one another, and
remember
to
choose your destiny.
My name is Select Screen. This has been an awesome time. We'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Oh, Elmo's not streaming. My bad, guys. Enjoy. Have a good night.